studio, Bee Gees legend, Barry Gibb.
Yes! Wow, Barry, really super to see you.
Barry, do you say bop? Do you use the word bop?
Am I easy with bop?
No, do you use the word bop?
Do I use the word bop?
Yeah.
Well, not too much.
See? Even Barry Gibb.
Anyway, let's talk about this cardboard studio that you set up at home then. So were you behind camera or were you in front of
Well, that was after we emigrated to Australia.
Oh,
well,
was
a lot of the houses in Redcliffe where we emigrated to were on stilts. So,
Yes.
because there was no air conditioning, you know, about 1958.
Yeah.
And so what we did was we built an imaginary TV studio under the house. And we used binoculars to make believe that there was actually a picture.
Isn't that
And there really
wonderful?
was.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
But you still own the house in Manchester, don't you?
I own the house in Keppel Road, yes.
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 Okay, well, later on, we're going to go... There they are, look, there's the new inhabitants.
There it is,
There you go,
yeah.
look.
Oh, God.
And later on, we're going to give you a chance to meet some of the girls
I
that
hope
now
so.
live there,
Yeah.
Barry. And
Wow.
also, of course, we're going to be talking about your tour, which you perform alongside your son, Stephen. So good to see you, Steve. Thanks for coming as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
Nice to have you here. Thank you, Ruth. We were just talking about those mugshots are more like headshots, weren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if you're going to go down in history, you've got to go down in history. This is my penny farthing.
Yeah.
That's a
You'd
great...
have your rickshaw.
Oh, the one with the guy.
Well, Barry's son, Stephen, has joined us. You were just saying there, Stephen, that you'd be posing with a guitar.
Yeah, I like the guy with the bike. I thought that was a great look.
Now, we understand that your dad was a bit of a tearaway when he was growing up.
I have no idea what you're talking
Define tearaway.
Is that right, Barry?
Yeah, well, we all were.
Were you?
Maurice, Robin and I, we would trespass and shoplift and all those things. Because, you know, in the summer it didn't get dark until 11 o'clock at night. Mum and Dad were working and we had to find something to do.
Yeah, well, you got to keep
But it's
mind
really,
busy.
it's sort of true, but, you know, it's all right to confess those things now, you know.
Too
then
many
we
sugar
suddenly discover-
sandwiches.
Well, the sandwich and the tripe.
Is it right? I mean, the rumour goes that that's why you ended up emigrating to Australia.
Well, the police came to our door and they said, you know, it's a really good idea to emigrate to Australia.
Proper trouble.
Truth hurts.
So you've both teamed up, father and son, for your new tour called
Yeah.
Mythology. And you've done part of the tour in Australia, where, of course, you spent lots of your life growing up. So how emotional was it then, Barry, to be back performing?
Oh, it was incredible because for me it was like going full circle. And we started out by being on stage. There was no making of records and things like that. So we were actually billed as a comedy trio. We were the Bee Gees comedy trio, you know, and that was what we did. I don't know if it was funny, but that was our bill.
But that was
Right.
your
and
recipe.
so for us, going back and reliving some of those memories and going to Redcliffe, which was the place where we first arrived as emigrants, you know.
Right.
And the idea of snakes and spiders and things that lived around us that we'd never seen in England, you know. So, yes, it was a pretty intense experience.
And so for you then, Stephen, did your dad teach you guitar from a very young age? Do you remember the first time you ever picked one up? Or was it...
I was always fascinated with it. I was a big Kiss fan.
Right.
And
not Bee Gees then?
no, I mean I was a big, I was a huge Bee Gees fan. I'm his biggest fan.
Oh,
but Kiss was the band that drew me to you know, rock guitar.
Right.
And he showed me the way he plays in open D tuning, and that way you could kind of bar it, and that was like got me started. And then years later, I kind of taught myself how to play in standard tuning. And
Yeah. And how is it now then for the pair of you to be up there on stage together?
It's fantastic. It's
It is.
fantastic.
It's
And Maurice's daughter as well, Sammy, a wonderful singer. So she's with us. It's a really, it's more like a show band now. The different members of us sing, and there's a lady named Beth Cohen who is a wonderful Streisand type of singer, and she comes in and plays that diverse role of singing some of the Streisand songs. So it's a real mix. It's a real mix.
And you say, Barry, that this tour is a salute to your brothers, but how...
Celebration.
Yeah, a celebration.
Yeah.
How difficult is it, though, to replicate the same sound on stage?
Oh, we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't replicate. I can
No.
only be me. And Stephen's got this fantastic primeval voice.
Yeah, no, it's true though. I mean, we've got some footage of you playing away and singing because you put your own slant on it. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, for you, really, I mean, you're as much a songwriter as you are a performer. So to hear these different,
I'm a dabbler. Yeah, all of that. But this is different than the Bee Gees, you know. And I don't sing what Robin sang, so yeah, I don't go into that territory.
But do you do harmonies between you though?
Yeah, and with Sammy. But you're not, you know, if you're looking for the Bee Gees, then that's not what you're going to get.
Yeah. It's still sort of a family affair, though, this
It's
tour,
a family
isn't it?
affair.
Yeah.
And the family makes up half the audience. So.
And you do play the hits, just to check. Yeah. Because people at home will be wanting to know.
Well, what would you expect?
Yes,
Come on
of
now.
course.
Come on now.
We'll play the songs we love.
Did those songs get played a lot in your house growing up? I mean, were you forever hearing, you know, jive talking and all that kind of stuff?
I mean, I remember them recording it. I remember certain songs being written. I remember being in the studio when it was happening, but you don't process it as like, oh, I'm hearing history's being made. It was just my dad was working, you know? And then later on, it all kind of clicks, especially when you're standing next to him on stage in front of a lot of people.
So, Barry, let's go back to your childhood.
Okay.
And we are live from the house in Manchester, where you grew up, before going to Australia. Shall we go in, Barry?
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
So, yeah, what are your memories of this front door?
Yes, and the telephone was on the right, where the desk...
Oh, look, who are those two?
Yeah, those two ladies weren't standing there.
Hello, girls.
Very nice.
Can you introduce yourself?
Hi. Hey. Hi, how you doing? And the long hallway...
Good, thank you.
The hallway behind you, right down the back, was the bedroom where the three of us slept, right at the end. And, in fact, all of us slept in that bedroom at one point. And the coal cellar was right there, right? We didn't go down into the cellar behind the stairs.
It's still
there.
cold, yeah, it's still cold.
Well, this is Amy and Esther, anyway. So, I'll tell you what, let's go through, and we'll go into on the right-hand side, so let's go for it.
Come on, girls, take us through to the kitchen.
My room.
OK.
Oh, OK.
Wow.
Fair enough, if that's what you want to do.
Looks the same.
Yeah.
Obviously, so, yeah, I mean, stairs are obviously
exactly.
a big thing, aren't they? Because you remember the height of them and the width of them and all sorts.
And I remember that we used to have a couch, the back of a couch, and we'd slide down all the stairs. All three of us sitting on the couch, you know.
That's wonderful. So here we go.
This one's my room now, Barry.
Yes, I recognise the room.
Yeah.
I recognise the room.
And Esther, can you introduce us to the other girls in the room and tell us about the party you had when you moved in?
Sure. This is Amy. We've got Monica and Kate.
Hello, darling.
And in honour of Barry, of course, we had a 70s party, housewarming when we moved in, which was pretty messy, but...
We did clean up
obviously
afterwards,
clean up,
so we better get our deposit back, Barry.
So that isn't the room that you used to be in, or is that one?
That room, I think, is where a man called Billy Burton used to play the trumpet.
Who was Billy Burton? What? Hang on, who's Billy Burton? What was it?
He was a trumpet player.
Right.
Right, and he used to live in that. Is that the first floor? Is that the first...
Yeah, that's one floor.
Stairs,
there we are.
Yes. The top floor was empty.
Wow.
Okay.
Not surprised if they had a trumpet player living downstairs.
And my father was a drummer, so you can add it all up. You know, nobody wanted to go in there.
Right, gosh.
But you and your brothers used to share a bedroom, as you said, and is that where you wrote most of the songs and practiced all the harmonies?
No, that's where we first heard. Our sister used to bring the Everly Brothers records home.
Right.
Home, and my father used to bring opera like La Traviata or La Tosca, and then he brought home a Bing Crosby album called Bing Swing. Bing sings while Bregman swings. Right. And he was that kind of musician. He loved the big bands. And so the house was full of all different kinds of music. Wow. The Everly Brothers is really what set us off.
Well, listen, girls, thanks ever so much for tidying up and allowing us to come round. It's been great. Cheers.
Let me know what he's doing, because we're doing our best to fix everything that's not working, so...
The carpet, Barry, the carpet needs doing.
All right, darling.
You're going to go and see them, aren't you, when you're in Manchester?
Yes,
that's the idea.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Take a roll of carpet with you.
We'll
There you
have
go.
tea and cake ready.
Great.
I look forward to seeing you.
Very important day. We're just going to say a quick congratulations, because tomorrow you're picking up your Lifetime Achievement
Nord of
Award.
Robbins.
Nord of Robbins, yeah. So where does that happen, Barry?
At the Hilton, is that...
Yes, I think it is.
So.
It is the Hilton.
But really, yesterday, watching the children
Yeah.
and watching the people who work with the children, that was a life.